Good morning, dear student. Welcome to you in today's video lecture. Dear student, we had seen the meaning of utility as well as features of utility also in previous lecture. Now today we are going to learn the types of utility. But here, before explaining the types of utility, we will take very short review of the concept of utility. As you know that utility is capacity of commodity and services to satisfy human wants. In another word, we can say that want satisfying power of commodity and services is known as utility. So here, all we know that utility is a want satisfying power of commodity. But now today we will learn the types of utility. There are 6 types of utility: form utility, place utility, time utility, possession utility, and knowledge utility, and last is service utility. So there are 6 types of utility. We will take one by one. So here, first types of utility, which is known as form utility. So when utility increases due to change in shape or structure of existing material, it is called as form utility. When utility increases due to change in shape or structure of an existing material, it is called as form utility. So here, in the concept of form utility, shape or structure of existing material or raw material is changes, and as a result utility of the commodity is increases. Such type of utility is called as form utility. Here we may take an example of form utility also. Furniture, which is made from the wood. When the piece of wood is converted in the form of furniture, then utility of the piece of wood which is converted in the form of furniture will be increases. So such type of utility is called as form utility. Then here we may take the example of shirt also. When cloth is converted in the form of shirt, so here the cloth which is converted in the form of shirt, utility will be increases in this case. So when utility of the commodity is increases due to change in shape or structure of existing material, it is called as form utility. So it is the first first types of the utility. Then second types of utility is known as place utility. So when utility of the commodity increases due to change in place of utilization. What is place utility? When utility of the commodity increases due to change in place of utilization, it is called as place utility. So here, in this case, utility of the commodity is increases. But what is the reason behind it? To change in the place of utilization is the main reason behind increase in the utility, and therefore it is called as place utility. So here we may take very easy example related to the place utility. So woolen cloth has less utility in Maharashtra, but when it is transfer from Maharashtra to Kashmir, which is very cold place, their utility of the woolen cloth will be increases. Why? Because place of utilization is changed, and therefore utility of the commodity is increases. Such type of utility is called as place utility. As well as we may take another example also, mango. Mango has less utility at farm where it is produced, but when that mango is transferred from farm to city, then utility of the mango will be increases. So why? Because transfer, it is transfer from one place to another place, and therefore such type of utility is called as place utility. Then third types of utility, which is known as service utility. So it is arises when personal services are rendered various professional in the society to other part of the society. So what is meaning of utility, service utility? So it is arises when personal services are rendered by various professionals in the society to others. Here service provided by doctor to his patient, service provided by doctor to his patient will be an example of the service utility. Nowadays we are facing corona pandemic time. In this corona period, the service provided by doctor playing very important role. So it will be the example of service utility. Service provided by police to the society, service provided by nurse to the society, as well as we may take another example also related to the service utility. Service provided by teacher to his student will be an example of the service utility, as well as service provided by lawyer to his client will be the example of service utility. So service utility means when personal services are rendered by some professionals to the other part of the society, and as a result utility is increases. Such type of utility is called as service utility. Here we may take many examples related to the service utility. Service provided by doctor to his patient, service provided by teacher to his student, service provided by lawyer to his client will be the example of the service utility. Then next types of utility is known as knowledge utility. So here it increases when consumer acquire knowledge about particular product. When it is created, when consumer acquired knowledge about particular product, and as a result utility of that product increases after taking knowledge. Such type of utility called as knowledge utility. Here we may take very easy example related to the knowledge utility. So when we have mobile but we don't have any knowledge related to the functioning of the mobile, then we may not get more utility from the mobile. But when we will take the knowledge about functioning of the mobile, then we may have more utility due to knowledge acquired by us. Therefore it is called as knowledge utility. As well as we may take example of computer also. If we have computer but we don't have an idea about computer, in another word, suppose if we are computer illiterate person, then we may not take utility from the computer. But whenever we will take the knowledge about the functioning of computer, then we may get more utility of that computer due to the knowledge taken by us. So such type of utility therefore called as knowledge utility. So when consumer acquire the knowledge about particular product, and as a result utility of the product is increases, such type of utility called as knowledge utility, because here knowledge is the reason behind increase in the utility, and therefore it is known as knowledge utility. Then next types of utility is known as possession utility. So possession utility, it arises when the ownership of the product is transferred from one person to another person. When it is created, when ownership of the product or good is transferred from one person to another person, and as a result utility is created, such type of utility is called as possession utility. So possession utility is enjoyed by the consumer when they purchase goods from the seller. When consumer will enjoy the possession utility? When they purchase goods from the seller. At that time, consumer may be enjoy the possession utility. So what is the possession utility? When ownership of the product is transferred one person to another person, and as a result utility is created. Such type of utility called as possession utility. Here we may take an example of possession utility. Apple. Suppose we have purchased apple from the seller. Before purchasing that apple, ownership of the apple is ownership of that apple is transfer in this case from seller to buyer. So now here after purchasing the apple, consumer can consume it. So he may enjoy possession utility. In the same way, we may take the example of bike also. The bike which is transfer from seller to buyer. When bike is purchased by us and as a result ownership of that bike is transferred from one person to another person, and as a result utility of the bike will be increases due to the ownership which is transferred from one person to another person. After purchasing the bike, we may drive it, we may take the enjoy of that bike, but when ownership is transferred from seller to us, therefore it is known as possession utility. Which type of utility? Possession utility. Whenever we will purchase any commodity, at that time we enjoy possession utility. When we will purchase dress, at that time also we will enjoy possession utility, because after purchasing it we may wear that particular dress. But when we will purchase, it means when ownership of that dress is transferred from seller to us, at that time we may enjoy possession utility. Then next types of utility, which is last types, that is time utility. Which type of utility? Time utility. When utility of a commodity increases with change in time of utilization. When utility of a commodity is changed due to change in the time of utilization, such type of utility called as time utility. So in this case, utility of the product is increases, but what is the reason behind increase in the utility? Change in the time of utilization, and therefore it is called as time utility. So here we may take many examples related to the time utility, like books. Book has a less utility before the examination, but during the examination period it has more utility. During the examination period book has more utility, but after examination utility of the books will be less for the student. So here utility of the books is more during the examination period, but after the examination utility of the book will be less. So here utility changes due to change in the time of utilization. As well as we may take example of raincoat also. Raincoat has less utility during the summer season, but it has more utility during the rainy season. So here utility of the raincoat will be more during rainy season. And what is the reason behind increase in the utility? That time of utilization. Therefore it is called as time utility. Which type of utility? Time utility. So here we have seen all the types of utility. Form utility, second is place utility, third one service utility, fourth one knowledge utility, possession utility, and last one is time utility. So I will take the stop. Thank you.